Well, hello everyone. My name is Tim Noakes and I live in Cape Town, South Africa. And it's a huge privilege for me to speak on behalf of Tracy and the program that she's introducing you all to today. I've had the great privilege of watching a lot of people grow immensely through the involvement in this low carbohydrate movement. And what really strikes me is how we all have to discover that we were doing the wrong things, and we have to break away, and then we find the truth. And Tracy describes in her own experiences two key moments in her life when she realized she wasn't leading the life that she wanted to. And the first was at the age of 13, when someone said to her that you're not clever enough to be a vet. And the one thing she wanted to do in life was to be a vet. And that she found completely awful statement. And then ultimately, many years later, she'd realized that that person was expressing their own weaknesses and their own fears, and it had nothing to do with Tracy. And it's interesting because I had a very similar experience. I was asked by a guy called Lewis Pugh, who became a very, very famous cold water swimmer, and he swam at the North Pole, and he swam also in the South, in the Antarctic, in the South, not quite at the South Pole. You can't, there's no ocean there, but off the peninsula of Antarctic Peninsula. And he came to me one day and he said, "Prof, I want to do a particular swim. And everyone's told me it's impossible." And I said, "No, I know the physiology. Of course it's possible." And I told him they are talking about their own weaknesses and what they can't do. They're not addressing your strengths and what can be done. So that was exactly what Tracy did. But unfortunately, taking that information, she didn't ever become the vet she might have been. And the second event was much later in her 40s, when she should have been extremely happy. She was married, happily married, 5 lovely children, lovely house, good income, etc. And one night she realized that her life was not being, she wasn't living her real life. She was living what other people wanted her to live. And it was that time that she realized that her health was not good because she had pre-diabetes, she had a fatty liver, by doing exactly what everyone else was doing. They were eating their sugars and their high carbs and having the odd red wine at night. And she realized that she was just being manipulated, as it were, by them to do what they thought was right. And the great breakthrough for her was to realize that she had to live her own life, and she had to be honest to herself and not to all the other people. So she began by getting rid of the carbohydrates and the sugar and reversing her pre-diabetes. And that, of course, improved her mental state, it improved her physical state. And she became the person she now is. And she's extremely happy with the person that she has become. But she could only do it by discarding what information she was told, this is the way you should live your life. So she's had this wonderful experience, and now she shares it widely with everyone, with her special skills as a coach and a teacher, coming deep from her own experiences. And I know that participating in this program with Tracy, you will learn a great deal about what it really requires to be successful in life. And that is not to make other people happy. You have to answer your own needs and answer your own desires to be what you want to be the real person. And that, I think, is the message that she gives us. You must be the real person doing what you want to do, not what you think other people want you to do. So I admit this to you and hope that you will benefit hugely from it. And again, to thank Tracy for being the person she is, to have stood up, to become the person that she had to become. And so she's done that. And we can take great pleasure and privilege in what she's achieved. And we can learn from her experiences and incorporate them into our own lives, and so that we can live lives that are worthwhile, which is her fundamental message. Don't regret anything in your life. When you come to the last days of your life, you want to be able to say, my life was worthwhile. I did what I had to do. And that's her message. And it's a privilege for me to be associated with someone who has come to realize that that is the most important message you can give to other people. So thanks, Tracy, for asking me to do this short introduction. And I wish you and your team and all the people participating in this program the very best of luck and every success in the future. Find yourselves, find reason to be yourselves, and rejoice in it.